Jami Ray here with Jami Ray Vintage. Today we're working on a counter height table and chairs. We've already showed you some of the prep work for sanding it down all the way to the natural wood. And now we're going to show you a two-tone finish. The first part of our finish, we're going to be using a dark walnut minwax stain. It's really important that you've sanded your piece all the way down to the natural wood, so that way your stain will penetrate well. One of the tricks I've learned, instead of using wood conditioner, is you can go ahead and just use water on a rag to open up your pores so that way it accepts the stain evenly. We're going to be putting a gray stain over the top of this, so I'm not super concerned if it's perfect because it's going to be a layered rustic effect anyways. I'm just going to go ahead and get this all on. So our next step is going to be to add the gray stain on top of the dark walnut. This is Rust-Oleum weathered gray. I'm going to go ahead and add it on top of this stain, not waiting completely for the stain underneath to dry because I kind of want them to mix a little bit. And when I'm all done, I'll give it a light sand to blend them together and give it an aged effect. So we've got both coats of stain on, our dark walnut and our weathered gray. And now the final touch before I seal it all is I'm going to be using my sanding block here to kind of distress it and give it a weathered look. So my sanding block has 100 grit sandpaper. I'm just going to lightly go over the top and the edges to give a little distress and bring some of the dark through to the top. The next step is going to be spraying the chairs with Fairy Chalk Mother and Snowflake. We already showed you that we primed them. An important thing to know about Fairy Chalk Mother paint is that you don't have to use primer. I just choose to use primer when I'm going to be doing a light project. I feel like the paint covers better, and something like a dining table that's going to get a lot of abuse, you need all the help you can get. So the next step is going to be to use Fairy Chalk Mother and Snowflake, and I've got my paint sprayer here. My air compressor is set at 55 psi, and I'm going to do about 2 coats of Fairy Chalk Mother, and then these will be ready for distressing. If you're interested in Fairy Chalk Mother single step paint, you can purchase it on my website, jamirayvintage.com. In a minute we'll get these all done and we'll show you the finished product.
Doing a heavy distress, as you can see here on the table, and I'm just going to show you how to do that with a sanding block real fast. So if you want just like a light distress or medium distress, all you're going to do is you're going to take your sanding block and go along the edges here, and that would be it. That's all you would do. But since we want more of a farm table style look out of this table, we're going with the heavy look, and so I still stay on the edges. I just go in a little farther, so I get my edge, and then I also go down some on the side so that it takes more of the white off, and that's going to break the look up and give you more of that country style look versus a cleaner modern look like this table had before. So you can see I did up here along the edge here where the seat has a little bit of an indent. You don't really want to just go putting distressed places just wherever you want. You kind of want to stay along the edges where it would normally get some wear over time, where clothing's going to wear on it or scrape, or if you moved it, that's where it would be scraped. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to go just like put a big old spot right here, unless you're going to take almost all the paint off and just have a really worn look. But we still want some of the white on there, so I'm just going where it would normally have some wear from a lot of use. Everything's done being distressed. I'm gonna do a satin polyurethane over the top of it now. It's gonna be a nice thick coat since this is a table, gets a lot of hard use.
Well, we finished our table project today. We started out with a really contemporary table and we turned it into a farm country table. The way we did that was we sanded the top of the table all the way down to the natural wood. We did a dark stain in dark walnut, followed by a gray stain that we brushed on before the dark stain was dry. Once both were dry, we sanded it to give it a distressed look. Then we went on to paint the bottom of the table legs and the chairs with primer, and we finished them with Fairy Chalk Mother Snowflake. Once that was all done, we gave it a heavy distress with our sanding block and our rotary sander with 80 grit sandpaper. The top has 5 coats of polyurethane, so it'll stand up to lots of use, and the bottom has 3 coats of polyurethane. We hope you liked our table DIY. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more DIY.